Crunchyroll decided to give Anime of the Year to Solo Leveling. And I severely, emphatically disagree with that.
Damn.
I
Be starting off strong. Excuse me.
I just wanted to say that. I do disagree with that.
What's clapping, everybody? Welcome back to Anime Intervention. This is episode 31.
Yes,
I'm your host,
sir.
BMG, here with my bro, my co-host. We're back at it. Feels like it's been a while, because it has been. But
It has.
for that reason, we're going to have a very, very nice conversation today about anime we have watched, finished, put under the rug, added to our list, and why we like them, why we hate them, why we're talking to our producer Iris about them, etc., etc., etc.
No, we just talking to her for it.
I know, but like, for those of y'all, we got Iris backstage doing her thing, and then we got Random Dynasty over there in the camera. Shout out to my homie.
Gang.
We actually do have another guest, but I'm not going to reveal her. But let's get started. It's been a while, so what I want to actually talk about is the spring season, winter and spring, because the spring is coming to an end as we're recording this.
Yes.
Very close to the end. I think I just watched episode 9 of Fire Force. No, not 9. I think it was maybe it was 9 of Fire Force, something like
I
that.
think it was 9 to 5 or something.
9 or 10. 9 or 10.
9 to 10.
Yeah, time is flying, bro. I'm like, yo, chill. Summer just started. Like, relax. But what I will say is, the winter season I watched more anime of, right? But the spring season I didn't watch as much of. I maybe watched, I want to say, 4 anime total, which is completely unlike me. But my reasoning for that, I'll get into in a little bit. Let me ask you a question, though.
Yeah.
You've been watching stuff. It's true. What have you been watching lately? Why? Let's get into it.
Honestly, let's start off with Medalist. Because,
Medalist? What is Medalist?
so it's a anime that discusses ice skating. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah. I think I saw that
Yeah.
one. Yeah. I
So-
mean, this is not Yuri on Ice, though.
This is not Yuri on
Okay,
Ice.
yeah,
This
yeah,
is
it's not.
just between Inori, the main character. She's little girl. I think she's in elementary school or so. But like, actually, is it elementary school? I think
It
might
could be middle. You know how the schools are a little skewed.
Yeah, a little cute. But like, she had a late start in ice skating, but she is really passionate about it. You see, she shows interest. She keeps on going to the ice skating rink, and she has this weird fixation with worms. And
Okay, that's just weird. What type of
Yeah.
worms are you talking about here?
wait, what? What, you talking like gummy worms?
No, nah. I'm just saying there's different type. Damn, that's how you know there's different types of worms. Because, but like, are we just talking about worms that are in the ground? Like, what are we talking
Yeah,
about?
we're talking worms that are in the ground.
Okay,
She
okay.
literally
So
traded.
not gummy worms. Okay,
Yeah, not gummy worms.
not the worms that I'm thinking of either. The other worms. Okay.
No.
Gotcha.
She
Dinus
took-
over here looking at me crazy. What were you saying?
She took worms from the ground,
From the ground. And what'd she do? Like, she put them in like a container or something?
put them in a container,
Oh.
and then the person at the desk would let her come in for free for worms because he had birds that he was feeding.
She sold the worms? You told me she made an actual business out of this?
Well, no, she didn't sell the
Oh,
worms. She
oh.
didn't. It's just that she didn't have money to go inside.
Oh, okay. I see now. Okay.
Yeah, so they're just following their journey with her and her coach, who was also ice skating. He was trying to become a solo competitive ice skater, but
Okay.
things didn't turn out the way he wanted them to be. But he ended up
That happens to like every single coach. It's like,
Every
yeah,
single
man.
coach.
Back in my old days, back in middle school and high school, I was like on varsity, junior varsity. Man, I was cooking. But then took an arrow to the knee. That's basically how they describe it. They're like, yo,
Took an arrow.
man, I had my chance, but my chance I let it go. Like,
yeah,
all right.
that's basically how it'd be. Like,
So that was the coach, huh?
yeah, that was coach. He basically he had duos instead of being singular, and after success at that stage, like he also went back and just started to be an assistant coach, and now he's like not living his dreams through her, but like trying to help her realize, like, even though you have a late start the same way I did, you can still progress and be good at ice skating and do what you love.
And my understanding of that would be, from what I hear about ice skating, people tend to start really, really young. And this is actually
Yes.
relatable to us as well because we've been rollerblading for the longest time, right? And I started when I was almost 3. My mom would take me around the block all the time. Every day. I would wait for her to come home from work and take me around the block. And that's how I learned. Now, I did drop off for a little bit, but I could see where that sort of seed has to be planted in order for somebody to become great, but it's not necessary.
Yes, it's not necessary. Like, it's not like it's always, oh yeah, automatically you put in all this time and effort and it's going to translate to like, oh well, success. Unfortunately, that's how sports and what life is. Like, sometimes you put so much work and effort into it and it just doesn't culminate. Like, it doesn't like give you the proper results. But honestly, we do see them develop. We do see some hardship with Inori and like especially overcoming like her nerves and being nervous. Like, she holds onto the aglets and the also the laces of her coach's sweatshirt to like calm her nerves a little bit.
Oh,
Yes.
this I like this anime that they're talking about here. It seems like it basically highlights a lot of the finer details, which is what I like to see. Because it means they're focusing in on the personal and human aspects of the person that they're trying to describe.
Yes.
And I think that's where anime shine. Don't know if you agree with that. I think most people
100%.
would agree with that. Iris, you agree with that? That's what I'm talking about.
I would agree.
That's what I'm talking about. So would you, after finishing it, would you recommend this to anybody?
I would recommend it. It's got good animation. It utilizes 2D and 3D, and even though a lot of people would be like, oh, 3D, the 3D does really well when it comes to ice skating, especially the way they move the camera in Pander when we had different moves being done. But it's very unique, very touching, and there's a second season already that's been announced. So clearly, there's some success.
Clearly, yeah. If they announced the second season that soon. That was within while it was going on? While it was finishing?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Well, another question for you. Somebody who's into hands. Somebody like Ryan Dynasty over there. Yeah. he liked the hands. He liked the emotion too, but he liked the hands. So you'd still give it to him, right?
Yeah,
Don't give it to any.
I give it to him. I give it to.
He does like slice of life too. But hey, listen, there's more hands in your category. I ain't gonna lie to you. There's more hands.
It's like, I'll give it to people if they're open to trying it. Like, I don't want to force anything on anyone, but like,
yeah.
it's definitely a good story for you to watch.
Okay. All right. Producer, why are you laughing like that?
I just like to think you're just like, no, you just put a gun to their head and you're just like, you're gonna watch them see, you're gonna like it. Like,
Yeah, you're gonna watch that girl and you're gonna realize her dreams come true.
Demon Slayer, now!
Now.
Tanjiro, now!
Now.
Start asking questions to see if they actually watched it.
Go to reading. Second Amendment.
That's crazy.
But that's good. I might add it to the list simply because, being a fellow skater, I'm not an ice skater, but I do ice skate from time to time. But I might be able to see and tell some translation between the different moves that they're training. Who knows, maybe. But I think it'll be a good watch for me. With that, I'll move on to my list. We'll kind of go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Orb yet? On the
I
Movements
have.
of the Earth?
I have seen Orb. I haven't finished it completely though. But
Okay,
I
you haven't finished
know the premise. I understand the concept. It is one of the best. I want to say one of the best shows I've seen in a while when it comes to talking about science and research.
Exactly. Not only that, but also historical fiction. I mean,
Historical.
I won't say historical fiction because a lot of it is, well, realistically it is, but majority of it, if not all of it, is realistic, and it's literally aligned with history. Like,
Yes.
these events happen at this time. These are the people that were involved, etc., etc. It's just that they do a really good job of highlighting the issues that we had in the past when it comes to the world. When we started in the beginning, everybody thought that the Earth was the center of the universe, right? And then it shifted. All of a sudden, it's not the Earth the center of the universe. It's now the sun. But the sun's not the center of the universe. There's actually more than just the sun. But that whole process of learning what these things were was, in reality, a grueling period of war, a grueling period of strife between two different opposing forces, which would be the knowledge of the people who think they know and the knowledge of the people that think they don't know but they do know but they don't know when you compare it to people who do know. So what? How do you do this?
You're literally trying to separate, I think, authoritative power and knowledge. Like, you have to separate those two together. But the church that's in that anime tries to like combine the two and say like, you cannot question this. We have the
Correct.
authority, we have the power, we have the influence. So once we figure out that you are trying to say we're wrong, okay, we label you as a heretic, we execute you. Well, I mean, on the first offense, they give you like a warning, and then you go to what is it, like the
They basically put you in jail, and
Jail.
they try to make sure they want you to confess. If you don't confess, they're going to torture you until you do confess. And then after you confess, they'll say, "Hey, you're a good being now. You confessed, and you want to be a good boy, so good being." Bro, listen. I know. All right, so Irish just said that. How do we bring Galileo back into anime? Galileo is not even in the story, because I think Galileo's before this time period. But the fact that they're able to highlight history in that regard is mind-boggling to me. Because you're watching an anime. You're not, personally for me, I'm not expecting to get a history lesson. But at the same time, entertainment. I was not, listen, I went into this show thinking that it was going to be nice, calm, talking about science and how the Earth is not the center of the universe. It's, the Earth actually revolves around the sun. Turns out that there are people who are literally getting tortured and getting hot wax poured into their eyeballs and fingers, your nails getting ripped out.
Yep.
And I'm over here like, is this okay?
Is that like
I'm
that serious?
I'm looking at, yeah, same, bro. Dynasty. I'm like, as I'm watching it happen, I'm like, yo, I'm holding my own hand. I'm like, hold on a second.
Like,
You're making me feel some type of way.
Damn.
And it was more than just that. There was another thing that they did where it was like, it was something torturous. It was, they would put this thing in your mouth, right? And it's like a clamp. And then I think it's supposed to like cut your mouth open as they twist it. Yeah, I was like, yo, what are they doing?
What is this? Some salt? Like
That's
nah.
what I'm saying. Yo.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I'm sorry, Dynasty. I'm gonna try and shorten this conversation because I'm having the people on the podcast actually get a little squeamish.
Yeah.
But
Damn.
it is.
How dare you tell autism?
I'm sorry about the tism. It's one of these shows, or one of those shows where you're surprised by what the product is. At the end of the day, when things get completed, when you finish the show, you feel both unsatisfied but satisfied because you get to see how history played out in an anime form, but you also get to see how things worked from word to mouth, because the way the story works is not surrounding a single person. It surrounds several people, because the idea of the heliocentric theory of the sun being in the middle, right? That idea started off at one spot, and then it gets transferred to the next spot, and to the next spot, and to the next spot, and to the next spot. But in order for them to keep that going, they have to hide like the plans and the research and everything, so that way nobody knows, so they don't get the papers and burn them, because that's all they do. They want to get the information, the research, they want to burn it.
Yes, they want to burn the evidence and act like they founded everything or established everything, or that God. I'm not saying God didn't make a lot of things in this universe. I do believe that. However, they use him in a wrong example. That makes sense. It's like they killed your way of thought process. It's essentially, I mean,
What the? I'm sorry for interrupting you, but you might have to censor this. But Fahrenheit 51.
yeah. Fahrenheit 451.
No, 451.
Burning books.
451. Burning books. Yeah. That is crazy.
Yeah.
But that's basically what it was.
Yeah,
That's literally exactly what happened in the entirety of the anime. It's like
literally what it was.
all the research just getting burned.
Because you're censoring information gathering from how many different people that want to think outside of your worldview. That's kind of crazy.
It is ridiculous, but I just personally for me, this is one of those shows where I'm like, this is definitely top tier. I would rate it a 9.5 out of 10, maybe even 10 out of 10. I think it might be a 10 out of 10 show personally for me, simply because of how they did it. And the characters, each one of them were beautifully written. And the characters, it's spoiler alert, but the characters, a lot of them do die. Most of them do die. But you get to see their journey and how information passes from one person to the next. It's really good, really well done.
Huh?
But yeah, that's what I watched. That's what I finished. I finished it maybe back in like April, but I wanted to talk about it now because it really just had an impact on me.
Okay, no, I'm definitely gonna have to get to finishing it. But now let's move on to the next one. For me, I have this one called Mecha Uda, or I'm not even sure if I pronounced that right, but it's like basically mechanical arm. So there's this kid.
So Gundam?
No, not Gundam.
Okay.
But just it's like a mechanical arm life form, like some sentient weapon that essentially attaches itself to its user's host, and like supposed to take like the arm or like an appendage, and you're able to utilize different abilities. So, for example, the main character Hikaru, he hears some random voice in the distance, and it happens to be Alma, who is the sentient mechanical arm that attaches to him and ends up being supposedly the strongest mechanical arm within that.
So this is a world of mechanical arms.
Yeah, it's a world of mechanical arms. It's not like it's really known and out there yet to the public, but it's like low key in a way.
You said Alma, I immediately thought of Monster Hunter.
I
But
thought of
continue. What were you thinking of?
Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, Ninja Gaiden.
Automatic.
Yo, that boss, that's a fight.
That boss is a fight.
But yeah,
But yeah, no.
nah. Continue.
It is a quite an interesting show. Like the main reason I didn't want to bring it up because I liked it, but I brought it up because it felt like I needed to dive deep into like a mech anime to like diversify myself a little bit. Like I have a couple of them underneath my belt, but I just wanted to see how it would be.
Okay.
And it didn't hit for me. To be honest with you,
Okay. Do you know the rating that it was on Mal?
like a 6.
Oh, 6? Well, that's
something.
something. So what you're trying to say is that you were trying to kind of like watch more mech anime to see like what it's about, like how to compare it, where to compare it.
Yeah,
Because you've seen, I'm sure you've seen Neon, right?
I've seen Neon. I've
You've
seen
have you seen Heavy Object?
Heavy Object. Yeah,
Heavy Object is good one. Have you seen there's a few others I'm thinking of. So there's a lot of Gundams, obviously. There's a billion Gundams.
Yeah.
There's a few other mech shows that came out recently. Do I count Decadence?
I mean, Decadence. Yeah,
I guess I can count Decadence. Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple good ones. So I can see what you're saying though. You were trying to watch this to see if it's something that's up to par with what you've seen already.
Yeah,
But it's not.
It's not because there was a lot of things that were hitting too fast. It felt like something, like no offense to middle schoolers out there, but something that's like very fast and has no emotional value.
Okay.
So-
Just very rushed.
Give you a prime example, like just certain things that would happen, certain events where, like, for example, Aki, who happens to be the bodyguard of the main character, meets her long lost sister, and like I don't really see that much emotion there, like that's elongated. It's like put to a halt and then moves on to the next story. Like I needed to feel more from that connection. Like you thought your family was dead.
And then you
Spoiler,
finally
sorry.
see them.
But yeah, then you finally see them, and it's just a weird interaction that only spans like a good 2 episodes. So I don't know. I don't know. It felt kind of too rushed for me, but that's.
And
fine.
this was a 12 episode anime.
Yeah, it was a 12 episode anime, but I don't know. I gotta see. I gotta compare it with like a couple others. Like I know there's a Gundam coming out this next summer season.
I would be interested to kind of like I'm not really heavy into Gundam. I've seen like a few of them, but I would be interested to hear from somebody who has watched maybe even I won't say all of them, but like a good chunk, to know what they would do in terms of recommending a Gundam to start with. Would they say, hey, just go back to the oldies, or would they give you something that's fairly recent that may not require you to go back and watch the old ones? You know, because there are a few shows that are like that. I've seen a few Gundam shows that you don't have to like go back in the day. That new gun looks interesting, Iris. Yeah, I agree.
Exactly.
You shouldn't have to go back and watch all these different Gundam if you're trying to get into the series. You know what I mean? And I do believe some of the new ones do kind of do that. So if that one didn't really pique your interest or help you out when it finished, I would probably try the new Gundam that came out. Was either last season or maybe this season. I'm not too sure which one. Yeah, that's what I would try to do.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. What you got next on your list?
Oh yeah. So my next one actually is Dr. Stone. I finished. So Dr. Stone is called Science Future, which is it's supposed to be like the beginning of the final season. It's like I guess part one, maybe part one of the final season. I was pleasantly surprised, but I'm always pleasantly surprised when it comes to Dr. Stone. I've always advocated for Iris over here choking. No, damn! Damn! Did you hear the slap on that shit? That shit went flat against my chest.
We gotta get you in track and field. I promise.
That's facts. Out here throwing, dead ass.
Discus, shot put, and everything.
Everything. Javelin.
Shit.
Yo,
That's
God
crazy.
damn. But what was I saying? Oh yeah. So Dr. Stone. So Dr. Stone. The reason why I'm so happy to talk about Dr. Stone is because this final season started off with a bang. It started off. I mean, the show in and of itself always finds a way to weave in science in, I guess, I won't say unexpected ways because that's kind of how science is born. But you got to think about it this way, right? Senku is in a world where there isn't much around. He had to start from scratch over again. That's why it's called Dr. Stone. So when you see him getting to this point where it's like you're hitting the bounds of almost catching up to where we were before the Stone Freeze, then it's like, whoa, this is actually kind of crazy. This is getting interesting. But in addition to that, it seems like we're almost going full circle because you're starting to notice in this season that there were other forces at play when things went down. Now the supposed enemy in the final season, isn't actually the real enemy. But in the beginning of this final season, you're thinking that it is the real enemy. It's another guy who's a science guy. It's another dude who is like Senku. You know what I mean? Like he has the brains, and then spoiler alert, you find out that that's literally his not his mentor, but his inspiration basically. Like he was the one who inspired Senku besides his dad. And you get to see the two go head to head, and it's really cool. It's just really cool. So I like Dr. Stone. I think you should watch the final season. Yes. You've watched Dr. Stone already.
I've watched Dr. Stone already. I do have to catch up, but I will definitely be there to watch the final season because.
Wait, did you watch the season with the one with the island where they get to the
island?
And then... Yeah, right before. It's right before that then.
It's right before that.
Okay.
I have to. I should be able to catch up. It's not that long, but
no, it's not.
I do love the fact that being able to idolize someone and then out of nowhere they become who you have to face in the end. That's a good scene.
I like that cool scenario. I like that.
Yeah.
It's like one of those tropes. Personally, for me, I have a like really, 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 really. I'm gonna say really, really so many times because I love this trope. You know when a character is so OP, right? Okay, not even OP. Their position is so OP. Let's say it's a king, right? And he's like weaving among the masses and nobody knows that he's in there. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then that one person tries to mess around with him, and then they're like, and then he's like, and you're like, oh, it's the king. And they gotta back down and like, oh. And then everybody starts. Oh, I'm sorry. And everybody else sees it and they're like, wait a minute, yo, you know who that is? Yo, back up, bro. Like that.
No.
Undercover boss.
Essentially, yeah.
Undercover boss. Basically, I love seeing when people's egos get stroked, but in unconventional ways. I don't really call it unconventional because we see that happen all the time. It happens in a lot of anime. It's true.
That's true.
We see that happen in when Goku and Gohan were training, right? And they were in Super Saiyan form. And they're doing their thing. And then Mercenary Tao ends up running into Gohan. And No, even before that. Even before that, I think Gohan met with, I can't remember the exact scenario, but he was blonde at the time. He was Super Saiyan. But the whole situation before Mercenary Tao, everybody thought Gohan was just a regular kid. You know what I'm saying? You remember? Yeah, when he was blind, yeah. They thought he was a regular kid and everything. And then Mercenary Tao shows up and it's like, oh, that's not a regular kid. Like, I just love tropes like that. So that's another one of those tropes where it's like, I put it on the level of the Dr. Stone trope where you're seeing somebody who inspired you to be who they are, and then you end up facing them in the future. So cool, so cool.
Nice.
Yeah. What's next for you?
Next for me, let's see what we got here. You know what? Let's get into it. Apothecary Diaries.
Okay, I'm glad you brought it up.
Let's get into it. When I say things are getting steamy, things are getting steamy.
Things are definitely getting steamy.
For sure. Like,
I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't expecting it, but the people who read the manga, they were like, "Yo, guess what's coming up next?" I'm like, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. This is before we haven't got to that
before.
point. Yeah, before we got it.
okay. Yeah. I was not expecting a lot of things. Spoilers, but like regardless of that, I wasn't expecting June to get shot at. Sorry, Jin to get shot at. I wasn't expecting that much heroism from Maomao, but like, it's not like I didn't know that she was loyal, but like, damn, y'all jumped off a waterfall.
Yeah, that was a little
waterfall.
a little ballsy. It was pretty high too. It wasn't like no regular waterfall. No, they actually jumped from like the top of the cliff.
Yeah, from the
Yeah.
top of it. So, and if I don't know how y'all like how tall a waterfall is, or like how long until you hit the the water, but like regardless of that, that takes guts. And that takes like duty, like sticking to your duty, and clearly you care about him. So
Oh yeah, no. It's, and people listen. Apothecary Diaries has been popping off for more than one reason. Obviously, the relationship between her and Jinshi is definitely one of the main reasons. But in addition to that, it's the whole kind of quarrel. The I don't actually want to be with you, but I kind of do. The haters to lovers kind of trend. That is what is pushing their entire trend. Like the whole trope in and of itself is what's making it trendy. Does that make sense? It's a good show. That also makes it trendy. But that whole portion of it makes it even more trendy for the ladies. Because ladies, they eat that shit up.
oh, actually,
They eat... No, when I tell you, ladies pick up the book, you don't even know what the ladies be reading these days, homie. Ladies be reading some.
I'm so sorry.
I don't want to get into the... I'm not talking about you, Iris.
I don't want to know what y'all reading.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, facts. I don't know. You got some steamy ass. Hey.
Y'all be reading more steam than a steam room. Like I don't know.
But
Than a steam engine.
no. Look, I be seeing some of the content they be reading. I'm like, yo, ooh.
You're seeing the content. Why are you seeing that?
Yeah,
What?
I was curious. So I asked one of them to show me what it was, and I was like, yo, this is some top tier smut. And then I was thinking,
What are you doing, bro? Sick and tired of shit, man.
I was thinking to myself, I was like,
Thinking.
What
were you thinking?
can they get mad at me for watching? Like,
Can they get mad at you for?
because if they're reading and I'm watching, there's no difference. There's no difference.
The only difference is the content of it, essentially.
Yeah. If anything, the smut's worse because it's using your imagination. So you're the heathen now. It's not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm getting off topic.
Yes.
I'm getting off topic. Let me get back on topic.
Man, your smut habits.
Hey, listen. I'm just saying that's part of the reason why it's popping off. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is back to your conversation. I want you to continue talking about it. What episode? It was episode like 11 or 12, right? I think it was like 12.
Oh, when she landed on his.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she grabbed it and she thought it was what?
I forgot what she thought it was.
She said it was a frog, bro.
Yeah, a frog. Yeah.
She said it was
I
a
remember
bullfrog.
that now, Yeah.
Here. That's
Yeah, exactly, Dynasty. Thick. With extra C's.
Damn.
Have you watched it yet, Iris?
And I'm looking at his face while it gets squeezed, and I'm just like,
yeah. I'm looking at Jinxie's face. I'm like, yo,
I'm like,
I know you're enjoying it right now, but damn.
he's like, yo, wait a minute. Oh no, this is the right thing to do, but at the same time,
And he's blushing and everything, and it's like, wait a minute, yo, this homie's balls are actually getting grabbed right now. And I was like, damn. I was like, am I seeing this correctly right now? I was like, did they really?
honestly,
I hate anime, dude.
honestly, that's like the one time that there's some sort of.
But
like,
the thing is, like, that's it's wholesome in a way, because it's
what? What is wholesome about grabbing the two family jewels? What you mean? Wholesome? The only thing there's whole of is a whole grab. What you mean?
That's
I need you to know, when I edit this episode, I'm putting that one picture of the black dude with the question marks over you saying that.
It's been wholesome for majority of the anime.
Oh, okay.
So when you get to that point, it's just like, all right, I can let it slide because we were building up to this. So it's not like one of those anime, you know, where you're just a guy walking down the street and all of a sudden you trip over a banana and then a rock and then you end up somehow face first into your best friend's titties. Like, that's completely different.
That is fair. That is completely different. Like, I'm not trying to see that. Like, we don't need that domino effect. Lucky number 7. Lucky lecture.
It's completely different from seeing Tamaki from Fire Force in a definitely serious show literally end up face first with her booty cheeks hanging out. Like,
it's like, what are we doing?
What are we doing here? Oh, my lucky lecture skill managed to save me from getting clapped up.
What?
I'm like, that's a skill?
How is that a skill? You just undressed yourself by tripping over yourself. Yeah, no.
Like, that's what I'm like, okay, listen, I don't even understand how we could even let that slide. But
this is
fine. It's like we're getting up to that point where they should be starting to get the feelings for each other. And Jinshi's always had it, but now he's starting to realize it's deeper than that. And obviously, Maomao is also experiencing it as well, where she's like, okay, these feelings they exist, but I don't understand them yet because I don't think she's ever been in love with anything besides freaking, not fruits, freaking,
poison.
Poison, thank you. Poison, thank you. She's in love with poison. She's in love with doing alchemy and all that other stuff. So,
alchemy, herbs.
Love for a human, she probably hasn't really experienced that besides love for her dad. And even then, it's not even like the love between her and her dad is more of like a respectful kind of love.
Yeah, that and probably maybe the sisters from the
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they care for each other. Yeah, but like when Mama went missing, he was like, yeah, she still take care of that. She's good. She'll survive.
It's crazy. I do think though that you're right. Like she hasn't like experienced that type of love and affection to that degree before, or like that concern. And we've seen that concern multiple times from him. But you even look, obviously, she thinks herself as sometimes undesirable. Like she always tries to think outside of the box and like, not that she doubts her abilities, but more of like she doubts the thought process of anyone else, like thinking of her in a high standard. She's always placing herself lower because of the position that she's in. Until
it's true, she does do that.
Yeah, until she gets like, I don't know, poisoned, then she's like, all right.
Until she's like neck deep into it.
Like
those situations where she's like, it's literally this, and that. A plus B equals Z, but it's not my business. it's not me. Like, I'm just gonna let it do its thing, you know. If they want me to solve the problem, I'll solve the problem. But I already know what the solution is, you know. So
I understand. For sure.
But yeah, by this point, Apothecary Diaries is still going on. It should be finishing right after the summer season starts.
I think
From
so.
what I know,
Yeah.
maybe even exactly when it starts, I have no idea. But all I know is I'm on episode 20, and I think 21 came out already, or 22. But who knows? All I know is I'm enjoying it, bro. It's
sure.
it's been interesting. Everything that's happened this season has been interesting, and I know people have been keeping up with it and have been enjoying it as well. So
That's smart protagonist right there, for sure.
that's yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
for
all right,
sure.
I'm with that. Well, since you brought up Apothecary Diaries, what I will do is I will bring this one up a little earlier than what I was planning on. I was actually going to save this for my last one, but now I'm going to bring it up now because I feel like you have it on your list too. I have a crush at work.
Oh, I thought you were making a declaration. I was like, on the podcast? Like,
Oh, do you have a crush at work? Okay.
Oh man. Oh him. Here we go.
I listen. I do not have a crush at work. Okay. But for the sake of this specific conversation, let's say that I did.
Okay. Hypothetically speaking.
Hypothetically, let's say that I did. This anime now hits even harder simply because of that fact. Correct?
This man's about to fall in love at his job
No. Okay.
from just watching the show.
I guarantee you that's not the case. But let me get into the anime real quick, all right? It's as simple as that. I have a crush at work. That is the name of the anime. That's literally what it is. But let me start where I expected it to start, okay?
Don't look at me. Wait, you tell me something? You do something with somebody at work? You got a coworker?
no. He said, stop looking at me. I was like, what do you mean? He's trying to let you know. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
but
So coming into I have a crush at work, right? I expected it to be to start off very small, where you're gonna have two protagonists that are at work working together, and then they start to get a crush on each other, and then they eventually get together by either the end or near the end. This started completely unexpectedly. You start right after they get together while at work. I was like,
Yo,
Moving
this
quick.
is what I was looking for.
I was like, exactly. This is what I'm looking for. But in addition to that, they're trying to figure out how to keep their relationship a secret because they don't want people at work to know, because there are situations that happen at work. There are some examples of people not working together well when they're in a relationship because they're too lovey-dovey, and that could cause issues with the manager, et cetera, et cetera. Or if they break up, the dynamic at work is completely shifted, and now it's an uncomfortable situation. I can understand where that comes from. This anime highlights all of that. It does a beautiful job with that. And as they're fighting through this specific scenario, this issue, there are certain issues that come up as well related to friends trying to find out whether or not they're actually together. They're getting closer to them, and they're like, wait a minute, hold on. We don't actually want to know. You know this, because if you know, it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like to see.
100%.
I don't know if you agree with me, but I like to see people dealing with problems while they're in a relationship. I see this all the time with the anime.
Oh yeah, for sure.
At least let management know.
a lot of companies expect you to let them know per day. So
Yeah, I know, but like, why the fuck would I do that? Yo.
I mean, that's true. It's like personal information, but at the same time, I understand, like, you know.
No, there's obvious reasoning behind that, why
Yeah.
it could affect, the workplace.
The workplace,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It is interesting, the culture in Japan and how it tends to relate to this, but it also relates to our culture too, because it happens here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that's why I like this anime a lot. But in addition to that, it is an adult romance.
Yeah.
This is not no cutesy,
no cutesy, nah.
No. This is nitty gritty. Like in the 4th episode, they were on top of each other.
This is big dog.
This is big dog romance.
Rough.
Rough.
Stop assaulting us. What are we doing?
I'm doing what the people who comment want to do.
You know
Well,
what?
that might be a point.
Watch us. They're not trying to hit either of them. They're trying to agree with them.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know what? That's a point right there.
Exactly.
Watching us,
Take
they
it back.
agree with these takes.
Take it back. You know better.
Take it back.
You know better.
This is that big dog romance, though.
That's what I'm saying.
This is that big dog. I love the fact that they're by a 4th episode. I'm gonna give you some context of where I was watching this episode. I was watching this episode as I was on my way to work. I just got off the train. I'm walking up the escalator, long ass escalator in Grand Central, and then I come out and I'm watching the episode. I'm looking around. I'm like, yo, he just took her shirt off. I'm like, I'm walking next to everybody. I'm like, yo, I hope nobody's looking at my screen right now as I'm walking because this shit is crazy.
Because it's insane. Like, they went straight to it. Like, it was just like...
Well, to be fair, by that point, we're like already 2 months in. The first month was definitely within the first episode. But as you move on to the next episode, and the next episode after that, it moves into like maybe a week after the first month, and after that, like 2 weeks. So it's sporadic. But the reason why I'm bringing this up, though, is the fact that we're moving from there to episode 4, where they're literally on top of each other.
Don't whisper, it's in your chest.
They're literally on top of each other. And the crazy part is, like, there's definitely like some like, I won't say like transitionary period, but you see the progress within those first few episodes. It's not as if there wasn't no progress. It's just that I wasn't expecting it going into an anime like this. I wasn't, because I'm so used to seeing anime that's like it's not to the point like that. It's so like baby.
Yeah, it's
you know
so
what I mean?
babied. It's so like it takes up. I don't know. It takes the first interaction in school, then the beach episode, then the freaking fireworks festival, then spa, then the pool, then like what are we doing?
Water park. Yeah.
Like, how much water do we gotta go to? Like, I don't need to see this, man. My goodness, I don't give a fuck about your little one-piece bikini. Like, make a move, do something. Oh shoot, I held her pinky for 2 seconds. What do you mean? Do something.
Do something.
Damn.
And they actually do stuff in this show. I love it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was a little much.
No, that's fine. That's because I 100% agree with you. I think that this is, you actually see some course correction here. He's making decisions based off of what the girl wants or needs, and then he's making the action. He's taking the action.
Yes.
He deserves to be on a pedestal of guys who actually take action. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I love this shit.
Absolutely, 100%. I'm sick and tired of the, oh no, I'm just a shy, the shy dude that, like, I don't know.
It's not even the shy dude. It's the ones who don't even see anything.
Yeah,
because they can't tell.
They can't.
They're oblivious.
Tell.
Yeah.
Or no, she doesn't like me, or this or that. No. There's a difference between the ones that are like in reality, and then we have the ones that are like in delusion, like literally putting themselves beneath the ground, not even like on a lower level. Like, what we're talking about, putting themselves underneath this earth.
No, it's like the girls who, all right, so you know how like in reality there's some jokes where like, the girls will be like, they'll treat a man like when they interact with them, but then they go home and they're like squealing because they're like, oh my god, I interacted with him, oh my god, I did something. It's kind of like that. Exactly. It's adults and not teens. So it's kind of like that, where it's like you're seeing the interaction between adults instead of what we're normally used to seeing, which are teenagers. What I will say is that there are some indications here and there with anime where it's like even the ones who are adults don't do what they're supposed to be doing, but majority of the time it's teenagers and late teenagers too. So
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I 100% recommend this anime to anybody.
100%.
This has got to be, personally for me, after seeing everything I've seen within the year, this is my romance of the year. There are people who will be like, oh, what about Apothecary Diaries? To me, Apothecary Diaries is not like straight romance. You know what I mean? It's like romance is intertwined with it. It's got a subplot. But I don't see it as like primary focus romance. I don't know if you agree with me on that.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. It's not like the primary focus. I think Maomao was trying to get like understand her position and like her point in standing and influence basically what's going on within the the court. But like, you can't really say it's like strictly a romance because we see corruption, we see what they've done to concubines, like trying to make sure that they miscarriage. We've seen people being poisoned, like backstabbing, and a lot of things that are prevalent to even this day. So I can't say it's strictly romance. So we have suspense. We have, you know, resentment built up, and a couple of people that like are waiting in line to be like a lady in waiting or something of that nature. It's a lot more in depth than just romance, and that's no shade to them, but it's like
No, yeah,
I enjoy
that's
the show
exactly
a lot.
that's exactly what I mean. It's just it's more than that. So yeah. But let's go on to your. You said you have a few more left. What you got?
I have two that I want to discuss in tandem, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Blue Box that I know that you also have,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I finished Blue Backs a couple months ago.
and Honey Lemon Soda.
Okay.
Yes. Now, Blue Box, that is the definition of a romance that I really, really enjoy. If we're talking about like in terms of like it's teens.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
teen romance. Yeah, yeah.
It's a teen romance, but that's a teen romance that I can tolerate. Why? One, you expressed interest and you try to make progress as a main character, Taiki. Okay, we see that obviously they're in the setting of you're in high school. Well,
They both play sports.
Yeah, they both play sports. She's a year older, right? And they see that ambition, that drive, and it pushes them to work harder, and they help and support each other. That's something that's beautifully written, and I enjoy the characters themselves. But we also see we have the classic childhood friend versus the main character's interest.
Yep.
Right? And that tends to get paired a lot, and some people may be tired of it, but this is done very beautifully because Hina, we've seen time and time after again how much she truly loves Taiki, and especially it hit the most when we see her confess eventually,
Yeah, and then get turned down.
and then get turned
Spoiler,
down.
but she gets turned down.
Spoiler, but like she gets turned down, and the first thing that she's like, wait, huh? Like it didn't hit her yet, and then she's just like, why? Like I know you so much better, or like we've been around each other for so long. I know what makes you tick, like what you enjoy, like what you need in life. And once you see that, and then you see that like that pain, and then like her just bawling, that's tough. That's a tough pill to swallow as a childhood friend. Like
That scene specifically did hit me hard, and it's only because of the fact that I could relate to her. You know what I mean? I mean, everybody can relate to her. You putting in the effort, and all of a sudden, it just don't matter. And it's somebody that you have been trying time and time again to get with. Now, to be fair, in the show, they do show in the beginning where she doesn't really realize she likes him until after she sees him going for somebody else, which tends to happen a lot of times. You know, once you see that your close friend, the person that you've been hanging out with all the time, is interacting with somebody else because of that specific interest, then you're starting to think, wait a minute, I'm starting to feel some type of way. I'm starting to feel jealous here. Is it jealousy because he's my friend and his time is going away, or is it because he's interested in somebody else?
true. It's just because he's interested in someone else. But like, let's get this straight. He didn't seal the deal, obviously, but what he did do is cut a clear line. Like you said, he was like drawing a line that, hey, unfortunately, even though he has strong feelings for Chinatsu, but also has feelings for Hina as well.
But he didn't understand those feelings.
He didn't understand those feelings. He didn't understand because he's like, I saw her as a friend first, and I don't want to ruin that. And then once she's expressing it, it's like, does the relationship stay the same? Does it stay intact? We still don't even know. I mean, unless you're a manga reader, but regardless of that, we don't even know what has happened between those two.
Yep.
After that, confession. But now we know that he is starting to take steps towards, making an effort. And also we see her, Chinatsu, also trying to make steps. Because I believe she was with her mother watching some reality TV show or whatever. And like they were pairing the same exact scenario where someone knew that they liked the person and they took them away from them.
Yeah. It's basically another love interest story type thing.
Another love interest type story. It's like, oh, well, if you don't put in the effort, your catch will get caught by someone else.
Yep.
For sure. You gotta be quick. You gotta be quick. For sure.
Blue Box has surprised me. 25 episodes of pure love, satisfaction, and obviously it's a chase. And it's an anime that takes kind of advantage of having two different choices, and that's what it's supposed to do because you want to divide fans in a way to say, hey, which one do you want to get rid of the other? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The protagonist. Who do you want to get the W? And then you start to see the two different sides. You're like, wait a minute, I actually like them both. Like, who would I pick? And then you have to think common sense, like, which one would make the most sense for the situation? Or, obviously the people be like, I just like this girl better, so just go with her.
Yeah.
So, but you said Blue Box and Honey Lemon Soda, but what's the deal with Honey Lemon Soda?
See, Honey Lemon Soda is an okay anime for me. It's nothing extremely spectacular. It's not like it's like, at the cream of the crop, but the main reason why it's okay is because of the way it started. The way it started was so just underwhelming for me. Like,
Okay, what do you mean by that?
You had a girl that was shy, right? Okay. And then a guy that was very not outgoing, but like he was like too cool for school. But also, when it came to talking to her, like, he would talk very bluntly and be like, you're slouching, get your posture right, or like, speak up. Like, as she's a shy person trying to get, accustomed to a new school.
Mm.
It's kind of a weird dynamic for me because I never really understood the whole shy girl likes the cool guy that says some shit that's like kind of rude and disrespectful in a way. But I understand, like, okay, he's clear cut and decisive and basically is trying to tell you, like, listen, the only way you're gonna be accustomed and like become friends with a lot of people is if you actually put yourself out there. And I understand his frustration. But at the end of the day, it looked like he was like practically like belittling her at certain points.
Mm-hmm.
So I personally didn't like that coming out the gate, but also I didn't like how, as for some reason, every single episode we out here playing the same exact piano melancholy music. Like, I don't understand as to why we didn't switch up the song or anything. It felt like it was the same music being played for every single scenario, happy, sad, or anger, or like any emotion that was being shown.
Okay, so there was obviously no differentiation there, so there wasn't any way to kind of resonate with the music.
Exactly. I like to hear different music, especially being played for different
Emotions.
feelings.
Yeah.
So that was kind of lacking here and there. But also, what I did like and what I did enjoy was like the last 3 episode stretch where we saw very vibrant animation. It didn't look like it was like, too bleak or something that was like, I don't know, depressing in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But we saw her be energetic. We saw her, interact with people and people accept her. And we saw she also got bullied. And eventually she ended up befriending some of the people that bullied her.
Mm-hmm.
So we see that growth. We see her ability to converse with her peers and even formulate groups and friend groups. So
That character development was definitely there. So you see the flourishment of the character arc.
yeah, I see the flourishment of the character arc. I just wish it was like not solely dependent on a character to go and belittle you in a way. And it's like Kai had some development here and there as well. Like, he started to become a little more vibrant himself. Like, he was dealing a lot with like the popularity of a high school kid.
Okay.
The man's wearing like a cap every single episode, like acting like he's fly or something, with a honey lemon soda that he drinks, and that's where it is.
That's where the name comes from. Him drinking the honey lemon soda.
I'm like, you're trying to make him so dripped out. Like, I'm sorry, no, you gotta relax with that. But I thought it was alright. Overall, I thought it was okay.
Okay.
But you compare that with like Blue Box is blowing it out the water for sure.
All right. Well, I got one more here for you.
Okay.
Have you heard of Zenshu?
That I have.
Zenshu, so it did come out in the winter season, and it's finished. I completed it. Zenshu surprised me because it's literally about an author who basically dies. She's a well-known author, manga artist, right? She's drawing and everything, and as she's drawing her next project, she literally dies, according to them. She actually just dies. She gets basically reincarnated into the story or the movie of her biggest like inspiration, and she knows this movie like back to front. She ends up going in with this tool that she uses to write, and that gives her the power to basically change the storyline. So she could change the story. And it's a really tragic movie because apparently everybody dies at the end. So she's, starting to get to know all these people and these characters, even though she knows them by heart because she knew from watching the movie. She's getting to know them actually like face to face, and she's starting to actually like fall in love with them just like she did in the past. So she wants to change how the story is written so that way they don't actually die at the end. Really well done how they shot it. But what I like about this though is that the way the tool works, right? It shines when she needs to use her power to stop them from getting like invaded by aliens or whatever. And then it like triggers a transformation that's almost Sailor Moon-esque. Like her body doesn't change. Her outfit stays the same. But you see the energy flowing in her, like art energy, and then it creates a desk in front of her, and she can just sit at the desk and just start writing the story, like literally changing the story by drawing. I'm like, yo, this is actually kind of sick. This is kind of cool. Okay. So I was cool with it. I actually thought that the story was slightly a little bit lackluster near the end, but I thought it did what it had to do. And it's one of those one-time stories. You don't need to, there's no second season. You watch this, you're good. You're chilling. Animation is animated by MAPPA. So we already know if MAPPA's animating, you already know it's going to look clean. So that's clean. And the reason why I say Sailor Moon-esque, the Sailor Moon transformations were always the same every single time. Well, obviously they changed, you know what I'm saying? But like, they were repetitive. So this is kind of the same way. They kind of recycle and use the same transformation, but because MAPPA, they're the ones who animated it, the transformation looks beautiful. Okay. Absolutely gorgeous transformation. So if I were to give this to anybody, I'll say, yeah, watch it, give it a shot. Especially if you're an author or if you're, you draw a manga or something like that. Okay. Definitely worth it. But yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. So, yeah, that's it. This is episode 31, right?
Yeah, this is episode 31, man.
All right, trying to get back to the groove of things. We got some exciting highlights coming up soon. I'm
exciting highlights.
Hey, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. But
finish up the episode. Shut up.
What I meant to say was we got some interesting video ideas that we want to try and bring out. So keep an eye out for that, and hopefully you enjoy our content. We're just gonna keep it up, all right? Until next one, deuces.